Welcome to this look at an update to Mars the Mission. It's a completely different map. With me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on Mars the Mission, the updated version of Mars the Mission. This is by Farmer Bob and Superfly 1842. 317.1 megabytes downloaded. I don't know how they've done it with that megabyte download, but it's awesome. I don't often do this, but when a map gets an update that is so different, changes the map so dramatically, for all intents and purposes it becomes a different map. I'm going to say this straight off the bat, they have absolutely knocked this out of the park. This is a home run. It's so good. If you like this sort of thing anyway, it's phenomenal. And the changes that have been made, imagine the original version Mars the Mission. Imagine the Let's Play I did. If you watch my Mars the Mission Let's Play, where you were colonising for the first time, you were setting it all up, you were getting things going, sending stuff back to Earth, that kind of stuff. Imagine that 100 years later. The colony has been progressing, it's been building, it's been growing, things have changed, and that's what you get now. And it's next level. There are no required mods to download because they've integrated their mods into the map. They haven't made them required downloads. They're in the map already. I like that as an option. That's very, very cool. I'm just going to do a turnaround quick. I mean, this is different for a start because you've got your initiative progress board, and as you progress through this, it shows on the bottom. I mean, that's, again, boom, next step forward, absolutely amazing. But I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to cut to a clip because on New Farmer, the slot count is 1,262. And we start with a whole load of stuff. You see all these buildings and various different things. As I turn around, you can see all of this here, stuff off in the distance, various different things around as we go. On farm management start from scratch, that comes down from 1,262 to 659. So there's a lot of differences, some big differences. You don't start with any of the vehicles and machinery on farm management start from scratch. You also don't start with loads and loads of the buildings, loads of the facilities, loads of the factories, loads of the stuff that are on the map on New Farmer. So it becomes almost, it takes you back another 50 years and you've got to kind of progress to the point we're at now. Does that make sense? Anyway, we have got to get around. This is crazy. So, on top of the not required mods, which is very, very cool, if we go into build mode, there's a ton of stuff. So, under sheds, and this is so futuristic. Honestly, it's awesome. It's so good. Large pull-through shed, large wide base shed. Under silos, we've got some additional silos put in. 800,000 litre, 6 milliliter multi-fruit. We've got hazardous liquid silo. We've got storage rack for pallets, and that's for pallets only, 100 pieces. A few of those knocking around the map. And the silo extensions, we've got a liquid silo extension. And just look at it. I mean, what they've done on this. Wow. Then we've got some stuff under containers. We've got some stuff under tools. Now, what I love is that this has been integrated in. So the underground silo that came out by Superfly 1842. That's on here. We've got that. I'll show that in a moment. But they've also got this broken away from it. 2-level large vehicle garage. And there are loads of those dotted around. So you can... you'll see. Also this, the Hydroglide header storage. That's a mod in its own right. They could have just put them as required mods. But no, they didn't. We've got concrete barrier walls under there. Then we come to farmhouses. And there you go. There's your all-in-one underground facility. And it fits this absolutely spot on. If we go to production... Under factories, we've got an absolute load, and you're going to need all this. And what I love, the names they've got as well, is just wow. Grain dryer, bakery, oil mill, spinnery, great processing unit. We've got a fuel refinery depot, stone processing plant, sluice, smelting plant, electronics manufacturing plant, oxygen filters. Brilliant. All the touches that have been put in to make it that more seemingly more realistic. All the things that when I was doing my original Let's Play, people said, oh yeah, but this wouldn't work and that wouldn't work, and what about this and what about that? They've gone away and gone, okay, we'll solve those problems. Here you are. This will solve all those problems. So all these extra bits here under production. Selling points, I don't think we had anything. Greenhouses, we've got a couple of greenhouses there. We've got under orchards, nothing. Generators we did actually. Under generators, we've got just there the sunlight turbine. There's quite a few of those around the map on New Farmer. But again, farm management start from scratch, there aren't. So that's something to be aware of. Under animals, we've got some extra pens under cows, and these are bespoke, you'll see as we go. And nothing under horses. We have got pigs, we've got sheep, we've got chickens, nothing under bees. Decoration, nothing under fences and lights, but under others. We've got some decorative objects to place around if you want to, storage towers and bits and bobs. And then landscaping, I don't think there was much. There might have been some extra paint textures, because obviously you've got the Martian sort of, you know, red ground, that kind of thing. But other than that, so that's all of that. But we come out of there and we go into our vehicles and we go down to mods and DLCs. So we've got some extra stuff put in here, larger capacities for, because there's like mining operations and stuff to do here, as well as the farming. What I love as well is how it's expanded. So where you had the fields and stuff before, you've got far more fields available too, including up on the top deck, the higher level, which again, it's absolutely amazing. So all these tankers, then when you look at the tankers there, the various different things they take, there's liquid oxygen on here as well. Mint. So all of those, you've got this as well, batteries, you can buy battery packs. 200 litres of electricity, which is very cool. And then all of those, and you've got fillable pallets, 5,000 litre for various different objects. So that's all of that added in. I don't know where to start, I really don't. We've got train station sell point here. There was a silo actually. This is the silo, and then we've got a sell point for train station. It's all this stuff, look. And every now and again you get that bing bong and you get like announcements and stuff, which is really cool. And the parameters have sort of changed somewhat, because this is it's on here now. These are emission parameters, things you need to achieve. But this one says accumulate and store, and it's 800,000 litres. Now I'm sure it still says 6 crop types. Then you've got optionals here as well, with it, which they've added in. And then you've got across the bottom here the various things you'll do, and then, like I say, your progress. We come around here, we've got rent train. Now rent train works here. It's another rent train point. I say it works here, you'll see what I mean. So pallet loading and truck lift. Again, let's just rent the train. When we come onto here, there is a staircase you can go by foot. If you bring a vehicle on here, again, this is incredible. The level of detail, the work that's gone into this. Activate truck lift. So if you're going to... It's very alien. I've got an alien or an aliens vibe to this on the USS Sulaco. That kind of... I don't know. The whole time I was doing my map prep, I was grinning like an idiot, and I'm not going to lie. I don't swear very often. Certainly not on video. But as I was going around, I'm going to say that there were a few expletives every now and again. Some of them. I was quite surprised and impressed. So yeah, there's a staircase you can come up. So if you're not coming up with a vehicle, there's a staircase that brings you up and down if you want to come up here. We have got pallet storage here for 100. When you come up onto this top deck here, we can drive up onto here, and this is how you're going to load up your train. But what I will say, don't know how long it's going to take to get here. When the train arrives, it stops over there, and you can't get on. It needs to stop here, really. I don't know if that will need a tweak. There's not actually a sell point. I don't think there's a sell point here by train. It didn't give me the option to unload, but your fill point is just over there. So this is like your transfer silo, so you can do it from the ground as well, where I showed you it's got the silo bit, which is just over the side here, which is over there. So you can transfer into the train and the train can go off. Now the train goes to the Mars rocket, and the Mars rocket can then be sent off, you know. So that's your sell point. You'll see that later on as well. The whole thing is just next level. It is next level. Bear with me a minute. I'll pause the recording because obviously I need to wait for that train to come. Oh, it's coming backwards. There we go. Maybe it will stop here if it comes backwards. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to stop out there. You can enter the train by going into the main map. I mean, look at it. Yeah, it stops over there. So what you might have to do, because I went to the edge and I thought maybe it'd give me the option to enter vehicle or something like that. So what you might have to do is come to here. If you click on it, and then it says enter vehicle. There we go. So we can go inside, and again, If we switch to the next train car and we do open cover and open cover, you'll see the cover's opening behind. Why doesn't one open? There we go. Second one's opening. That's opening covers. Let's start the engine. Oh! And again, for the people when I did this the first time, I did the first map tour, then I did the Let's Play, so oh, it's ridiculous, it's ludicrous, it's insane. Why? This is farming in the future. It's still farming. You can still do all the elements of Farming Simulator 22. It's all there. If you don't want to do any of this sci-fi stuff, just do the farming. But why is it not plausible to think that 100 years, 200 years, 500 years in the future, this could be a thing? Could be. So we can send this off. But what we'll do if we go just under... Still smiling, like a small child. So it hasn't given me the option at any point to unload, which is interesting. So yeah, to unload into the silo it hasn't given me an option. It's given me the option to start filling. And then the various different crop types that it will take. Whole load. What we'll do if we do that. We'll send it on its way. And then we'll carry on, because this is just, look, to Earth. Ah, that takes it to the rocket, drops off there. So if you've got something to sell, you might have a contract now. As far as, there are no custom crops, but there are a lot of extra bits and bobs on here. And what I will say as well is, contracts when you come onto a new farmer are not available, and I'll explain why in just a moment. This is one of our oxygen filters. Now, 3 of these around the map, and you can have more if you want. So we manage production plant there. So it requires electricity and carbon monoxide. Outground products, carbon monoxide. Oxygen, that should be, shouldn't it? It's an oxygen scrubber, so it's cleaning out the carbon monoxide and giving us oxygen. Anyway, regardless, that's those things it requires. There's 3 of those around the map. And talking of the map, let's just have a look at that now. So, if we come to the map, this is what it looks like, and on New Farmer you own all of it. And there are separate sections. So you've got the outer ring here. You can purchase if you want to. 2,808,846. I don't really think you need it unless there's any solar panels and stuff on it, which there might be. Then we've got the inner section, which is all of that. 2,496,714. Then we've got these fields. Now, if you remember on the previous version, you had this field section here, this one here, and this one here. These didn't exist. And what's interesting and what I love, I'm not saying I influenced this in any way, shape or form. This was probably well underway before then. But I put trees all up here. I ploughed out all these sections to make fields on my own Let's Play. And I ploughed out this up the back. I did wonder if they were going to put one up here. I ploughed this section up here as well to make fields. I love the fact that's been added. You've got these things added in now. So all these extra plots. That one's 50 grand, that one's 108 up the top there, 96, and you've got these ones. But then these ones come in blocks there, there, and there. It's just, yeah, so you start with all that. Obviously on Farm Management Start from Scratch, you don't own any of it. And that's why when we were just in the productions menu, there are 17 productions. So we go back to the map. There are 17 productions on the map you start with on New Farmer. On Farm Management Start from Scratch, the only one you start with is the power plant just down here, because a lot of them aren't on the map yet, because you need to place them on Farm Management Start from Scratch. So again, it depends what route you want to go down. If you want to go down for a bit more of a, struggle's the wrong word, but you know what I mean. There are, oh, I wanted to show you as well, like I say, on this version, because you own all the fields, there are no contracts available, because you bought them all up, so there's no one to give a contract. On Farm Manager and Start from Scratch, because you don't own any of the fields, contracts are available. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to put a screenshot up to show you one of the contract screens, because what I love about it as well is what they've named the thing as. I'll show you, I'll put it up. Anyway, enough talking, we need to crack on. I'm trying to think what was over this side that I might have missed before we move further on. I did the lift, auction filter, that's there. So we came from there, but that was where we started, just over there. So over here we've got fuel depot. A sort of sell and buy point all at the same time. Fuel depot. The silo is empty, so you can bring stuff here and fuel storage. Then we come across from here, and we've got a few of these through sheds. And we've got ones that open. What I like as well is all the doors and stuff have all been changed. I love the fact you've got all these crates, all this stuff that's been added in. It's made it far more sci-fi, far more futuristic. Let's say 100 years, if not further, on from when I played on it, the kind of thing. There's loads of these that we saw already around the map that, again, I think on Farm Management Start from Scratch you don't have. And then you've got all this, the roadways. And look at this. When we talk about custom traffic, and the sound effects. I love my sci-fi. If you know me, you know my channel. If you've been watching a long time, I love my Star Trek, I love my Star Wars, I love anything science fiction. So this is, well, it's right up my street. It combines everything. So if we come into here, we're going to get to a vehicle in a minute. So this has changed massively. It's been cleaned up, it's been tidied up. There's not a double door anymore. But again, it's all the flashing beacons. All the extras thrown in. Vehicle shop is around to the side there. We've got a spinnery just here which can be purchased. There's another spinnery that we start with on the map that we already own. We come across there. We've got our animal dealer, livestock market, purchase point just there. Across the way here we've got our vehicle workshop trigger. So the vehicle shop trigger is over there, vehicle workshop trigger is just here. Then we come across this one here, we've got some racking there for 100 pallets. And then round the side here we have got bale sales, which is, I suppose, a fairly standard thing. What I'm going to do now is interesting actually. I'm going to just lease myself a vehicle from the store. I leased a vehicle, and weirdly enough the vehicle I leased was actually one we start with. Which I didn't realise. I suppose what I could have done was reset the one we got on the map. If we go down and we look at the start equipment and machinery on New Farmer, so we do have some medium tractors, we do have a truck, we do have a harvester. Now what I did, if you watch my Let's Play, like I say, I then swapped out stuff of futuristic looking things that for me, I just felt helped fit it all in. We've got headers, we've got corn headers, stone picker, plough, cultivator, seeder, planter, sprayers, and weights. We've got a whole load of stuff, but Farm Management Start from Scratch, you don't have any of that. The reset point and the place your equipment will spawn is out here. Now, on the previous version, this was just a big open, hard standing area, so now we've got a field on part of this. Let's close the main door. So this is where your vehicles will reset to on the map. Head up onto the top of there and have a look. I need to speed up a little bit now because I'm very conscious of those sound effects of time, but it's all the big pipes, all the extra stuff. It's just wow. Yeah, I mean, it's incredible, the transformation of the map. And when you look at it, what is great, and this is why I said there was that map that came out recently, and it was, in essence, it was Sosnovka but with everything removed. And I said on that it was like going back in time. So it was like Sosnovka a few hundred years previously before it. And this is so cool because it's the map. Everything's here. It's the crater, the map, the dome. Everything's here, but everything within it has evolved. It has changed. It has moved on, and that's brilliant. So more turbines, wind turbines. Then we've got the sell point, so this is our sell point to Earth. So if you don't send it off by the train, the grav train, we've got our sell point just here. So this is sell point to Earth, and then we've got two of our underground garages. So these are kind of part of that underground facility. If we do lift one up, it brings them both up. If you do lift two up, it only brings up the first one. So what we're going to do is lift one, just to show you one operating. We're going to see some more of those anyway later on. There's two here. They'll come up. So for storage of vehicles, equipment, machinery, whatever you want to do, you can. Now, I don't think on Farm Management Start from Scratch, I didn't check these ones up here, but I know for a fact the ones that are down on the bottom of the map, there you go, so that lifts both up. If you only want the top one to come up, you press one rather than, you press two rather than one, sorry. So we can put that away now. That'll go away. Yeah, it left a big crater when I came on Farm Manager and start from scratch, where the lifts are elsewhere on the map, there's a big hole in the ground, so if you don't want to use them, you come onto your own Farm Manager and start from scratch, you might have to do a little bit of landscaping to smooth that over. This carries on all the way around, and I'm going to show you that later on, sort of from the aerial drone, but it's things like that over in the distance. The radar dishes, satellite dishes, are so futuristic looking that have been added in. It adds all these new elements, which is absolutely brilliant. The rocket has changed, and that's another thing. Just wait till you see the rocket. Wow. So heading back down. Got to be careful with this because it tends to get a bit gets a bit loose. Got to be careful I don't catch him, because you've got these cargo haulers as well, which is really cool. I think they should have modded one of these in as a vehicle. How cool would that be to have like a grav vehicle? That would be just... Anywho, so this is cool as well. Look, the sign, look. The Adventures of Rocket Rob, daily at 3 PM. All those little things, it all adds up. It all makes a big difference. So we've got our hazardous liquid storage. There's one here. Those are, we did look, didn't we? Was it 800,000 litres? I think it's 800,000 litres. We come across here. This is our smelting plant, which can be placed, like I say, I think Farm Manager and start from scratch, they're not on here. But our putting in and taking out, so that's our taking out. Our putting in is done around here. Then we go up onto the upper deck. We've got our manage production. So we go. Enriched magnesium, titanium alloys, glass. And then with all of the productions on here, you've then got an overdrive version of it that requires electricity. So the standard one doesn't, but then the overdrive, and I think all of the productions have a boosted version that require electricity, and it just gives you higher recipes, which means they'll process a lot faster. So our outgoing products and ingoing products, magnesium ore, titanium ore, silicon, methane, you'll see all that stuff. It gets produced at other locations around the map. But again, if you don't want to run any of that, if you're not into the mining side of things, if you don't, you know, I mean, to be fair, if you're not into any of that sort of stuff, you're not likely to pick a map like this. Let's be honest, you're probably going to pick something else. But if this is your bag, if it's something you think, actually that's quite cool, I wouldn't mind having a go at that. So just here, we've got our fuel refinery. So we've got methane to diesel, diesel to methane, extract water from stone and biodiesel, and then we've got the overdrive versions of those as well. So all the various different things coming in, and then all of our productions coming out, diesel, methane and water. So if you are trying to produce certain things that are required at other locations, they can be produced at other various locations, if that makes sense. I've got to remember the route of it around this. The buildings as well, they look so few. Oh yeah, so a lot of these sheds here, and there are a few of these dotted around. So you've got the underground ones, you've got overground ones, you've got drive-through ones. They do have lighting as well. No shortage of storage space around the map. Right. Let's boogie. We've got so much more to get around. Barely scratched the surface, and I'm still grinning like an idiot. Because that's what you do. I've always said this on map tours, on mod reviews. I love something different. I love something that stands out. And by golly, does this stand out. By Jove. Grain dryer, just there. Again, available so you can put more in. That was a mod that came out recently, but it's been integrated in, which I think is absolutely fantastic. The power plant, and you can put multiple power plants down if you want to. And that's on all 3 game modes. The power plant is still here. It's just over here. So putting in various different things done here. We come up onto the top. Interplanetary logistics. So cool. Managed production. So manure to electric, methane to electric, diesel to electric, wood chip to electric, hay, straw. All those things in. They will produce electricity and carbon monoxide. Obviously, we've already seen the oxygen scrubbers, the oxygen filters require that, so you've got lots of productions that will make that, and obviously there's lots of productions, if you want to boost what you're doing, require electric charge. Set that onto distributing, and if you've got this running, your power plant chugging away, that will be distributing electricity to your various different locations as required to boost whatever productions it is you are running. Nice touch. And again, the labelling, the detail, the customization, awesome. Our colony storage, and there are, obviously you can put more of these down, it's just here. This is a 6 million litre multi-fruit silo. Our lorry is just there as well, so we've got a lorry and trailer. This side of it, we've got another one of the oxygen filters. We've already seen one of those, but this is, I haven't actually set one of these off and running. I'm curious. I'm assuming once you put some stuff in, these fans will start to spin. So you've got your sort of drawing in and blowing out side of it, but there's your oxygen filter just there. And around the other side, we've got the water plant. Just there for collection of water. You don't need to do anything for that, you can just come and collect water. It's not a production. Now if we come around this side, again on farm management start from scratch, a lot of this stuff isn't here, so that's something to be aware of. So we've got liquid fertiliser and fertiliser storage. We've got Karma 16 silos, so these are the ones where you can go to them and you can purchase your various different ones. Karma 16s are normally seed and mineral feed, aren't they? Yep. So these are here as well, but again, like I say, they're not on farm management start from scratch. And then we come around to these bespoke. the names are absolutely awesome. And these also have the boosted on as well. So we've got cosmic yarns. So we had that spinnery that was around there. But our spinner, if we click on that, and again, like I say, new farmer, we start with all these already. So you've got your fabric wool, fabric cotton, and clothes. It can all be done here. And then you've got your boosted versions if you bring out, if you have electricity brought to it, or if you have it distributing to it. The recipes increase in capacity or in size, therefore you will get more. So that's your cosmic yarns. Stopped a little bit too close there. We've got our Astro crop oils, again, so that's your oil mill. Then we've got our interstellar raisin nuggets. That's your great processing unit. Again, all with boosted items on there. We've got bread, Mars and Beyond, our bakery. Awesome. And then we've got here 4 underground silos. Now I'm going to open these because these have got some of our start equipment and machinery in them. So we go to there, lift that one. By the time we get back, the first one should be up, hopefully. And like I said, farm management start from scratch. This is the location. There's a big crater here. None of these placeables and facilities and stuff. And there's a big hole in the ground. I'll show you. I did take a screenshot, so you'll be able to see that. So as you can see, as these all come up now, you can see all of our equipment and machinery. But on farm management start from scratch, you don't start with any equipment and machinery. So, isn't it just so cool? Absolutely fantastic. But again, swap everything out. If you want to go for a more futuristic feel to it, our rock picker's just there, plough and cultivator. You can absolutely do whatever you want. Oh yeah, the picture. I'm going to show that picture now. What I love as well is we're just, you know, there's so much more. There's so much more to it, which is awesome. Just over here we've got our grain mill. So this is a larger facility, but the grain mill is that little bit just over there. And again, boosted if you want boosted. Over here, and this is what I mean, I released the retriever, and when I got over here I realised we actually start with the retriever. So this is the underground facility mod that we had recently built into the map. This one doesn't have any equipment and machinery in it. This does also have a storage of 650,000 litres. We do have a silo and a liquid silo just here. We have electric charging point here as well. So this is a silo as well built in for your farm. And if we open the doors, if you've seen the mod, you know, it's for all intents and purposes it's the same mod. We can put icons on and off. At the moment the icons are on. We come to this little button here, we can toggle the icons off. So if you don't want the icons in the building, we don't have to have them. And then we've got our lighting on each floor, and we've got our lift that takes us down to the different levels. So I think down at the bottom actually, I'm trying to think, do we have this on the standard one? I know it's been updated a couple of times. So we've got our sleep and wardrobe triggers are just here. Light switch here as well. Obviously I've lifted that all the way up. When that's down normally, in each floor you can come into your lift, but the reason you can come into the lift when these are down is because down here we've got a workshop trigger. So if you want to do maintenance, you absolutely can. Let's go back up. So that's your underground living quarters. Let's close that back down again. And then here is the next cool bit. I mean, like, super cool bit. There's our Mars rocket. So our train, as we said already, if you get a contract or you want to send stuff because the price is good, so deliver to Mars rocket. So here's our Mars rocket out here, there. If we come over to the command center, now we can go into the command center. We don't have to. You can do it from outside. But if we come into here, initiate rocket launch. I'm going to do it from outside. And what I love as well, not only does it look cool, but it's the lighting. So let's initiate rocket launch. So this is you sending stuff off if you want to simulate that, but also if you've sent it off and then you think, okay, we need new cargo. When I was doing my Let's Play, I was saying, you know, the shuttle would come once a month or whenever it was, and I could order stuff to be delivered. So you can really go into simulating that now. This is a big cargo transport rocket supplied by whichever your favourite one is.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I mean, come on now. When I've been talking about all the FS25 stuff and saying about all the things that when I played on 15, 17, 19, all the things you thought, oh, that will never happen, we'll never get that, that'll be amazing, could you imagine? And all the stuff that's coming to FS25 is all pretty kind of, wow, this is nuts. This is nuts. I said this when I did the first map tour. But it's that thing of, when in a million years would you ever believe this would be a thing? And I thought the previous version was good, but this, wow. Joe, when I said right at the start, this is a home run. I mean, absolutely. So off it goes, and then when you want to, so you might leave it like that, that's absolutely fine, but then you might decide as part of your Let's Play, as part of your storyline, you want to bring it back. You can request a rocket return. So if you need some cargo to be delivered and you've ordered something, you need it to arrive, like I say, you can come into the building, you can do it from outside, it's up to you. Wherever you want to do it, you can request the rocket to return, it will return, and the lighting will do its thing again, and it's all very cool. And that's not all. Above us, you probably saw, there's a crane that's going around. Now you can't use the crane's not operational. However, whoa, we do have some, it did say bale and pallet storage, which was interesting, but I couldn't work out where that was. Just over here. So our crane is just moving round and round the whole time, which is cool, and that goes up. It goes up a long way. So if we come around to here, it says activate elevator. Now if I do that, then activate it again. Oh, that's why. So if I come inside, the door will close, and then nothing happens. So you need to be aware that nothing will happen if you do that. If I press activate it again, the doors will go again. When they close this time, oh, rocket's coming back, there we go. And now turbo lift, take us to the bridge please. This takes a little while, so again I might edit a chunk of this out, but you can see that we are making progress because you've got the bands that we're going past, and this takes up to the top deck, and you can have a look out over the colony if you want to. You don't have to, and it doesn't serve any other purpose other than just to come up and have a look, really. But it's a cool feature. It's quite incredible, really. And there we go. We're out on the deck to have a look. Luckily, all mission specialists get issued a grav chute, so you haven't got to worry about falling. But I mean, look at that. Like I say, it doesn't really serve any purpose other than being able to come up here and go, whoa, dude. And it's pretty cool actually, because I came up, I started taking some thumbnails and stuff. I was trying to work out what to do, but it's cool when you see the grav train come out and run round to the terminal and stuff. It's brilliant. So yeah, I might make use of the grav chute now. It's probably not a bad idea. So what we'll do, make sure I don't hit anything on the way down. That's right. It's quite a nice slow descent. Reminds me of Sussex Farm, when you used to be able to take the helicopter up. And again, you could go up and in the helicopter and you could simulate all sorts of stuff. And you could jump out the back, it was a similar sort of thing. Anyway, that's the crane and the lift elevated to the top. Excuse me. Nice, another little feature here. These are your header lifts. Again, they were a mod, and you can operate those to bring your headers down. You've got your emergency stop, and you've got your... Why isn't it working? It's interesting. It's not giving me any other option other than emergency stop. Oh, hang on. There we go. So if your header storage, depending on the length of your headers, we get our standard, we got our corn headers and whatnot. That's cool. Those are there. But there's another little feature. I just wrote down next to it. Vent. Was like, because I drove past, I looked and thought, whoa, look at that. Incredible. So now we move around to one of the biggest, I say one of the biggest changes, let's be honest, it's all a massive change, and that's all the animal situation, because we had standard animal pens before inside domes, and it was sort of really difficult to do anything with them. You couldn't change or anything like that. Now these are fixed in place, but what's really cool with these is they're within the domes, they're fixed, but it's all been changed. So we've got another storage building here if you want it. We come in here, so we'll bring the vehicle in, we bump up that a little bit because we're going to go right the way through anyway. It's all inside. So to this side we've got two greenhouses, so two large greenhouses inside here. We come across here. Chickens, 800. And they've got the ground texture and stuff in, which I like the fact they've done that. That tweak to that has changed that massively. Follow the corridor along. Now just outside the next exit there's more racking. There's two sets of racking on the outside of here, and then we've got one inside bale and pallet storage. So we just stop there, leave the engine running. Outside, where's the racking? There we go, racking just there for storage. We come into here. To the right, pigs, 500. Across here we've got potatoes, so we've got a little indoor growth area. It was potatoes, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so that had changed from when I did my prep. And then this side we got sheep, 500. That's a good point. Where do the pallets spawn? I guess it's going to be that thing that when they do start to spawn, it's going to be glaringly obvious where they are, isn't it? Not too sure actually. Unless it's out in this area somewhere. There's not a hazard marked area, but anyway, I mean it'll be obvious. Well, you'll see the pallets, they'll spawn. Unless they spawn onto the racking, that would be quite impressive. I don't think they would, but you never know. And you can go outside again if you want to. We'll follow the corridor down. So when we get to this end here, we've got another set of racking outside. Just there. We've got bale and pallet storage inside here. This is for 250 items. Then we come to this side. We've got more sheep, 500. Just there. This side, pigs at 500. And then here, actually we've only got one cow thing, I think. Only one cow enclosure, haven't we? One chicken. Cows 500. Yeah, one chicken, one cow. Two sheep, two pigs we've got. And then outside of the buildings you've got your slurry points out there, and there's another one further around. So slurry points doesn't actually say about manure either. Anyway, and then outside of the cow one around the back here you've got your feed robot. So if you want to put your stuff in there, the feed robot, again, that'd be an interesting one to test out, whether that feed robot comes out, whether it goes in through, whether they've put like a doorway in the glass maybe, or whether it comes all the way around, all the way through here and in to feed them. Oh no, is that a door in there? Oh, there you go, look. Clever. I was just thinking, how have they done that? That's brilliant. So it will come out from there, round and follow a track. That door will, oh, that would be something really cool to see. I'm not, this is just a map tour. I'm not, you know, when I do map tours, it's not a full deep dive into every single operation of everything on the map. But the problem is now I'm like, oh, I want to come on here and play this. I might just play this for my own personal benefit, because I've already done a let's play. It would be cool to come on and try it with all the new stuff, in all honesty, but I've been there, we've had a go. Another hazardous liquid storage just there. To the right, lime station. And then we come to this point. So this is the stone quarry collection point. And when I say stone quarry, what's really cool about this, and let's chuck the drone up. So here, you collect your stone, comes out this chute, but you put it in up here. So it goes in the chute there, goes all the way down, you collect it from the bottom, and here's your stone quarry. So up on this upper level, and this is weird as well, because when I did my let's play, I simulated quarries around the bottom and up the top. Up the top here I had a big stone quarry. It's bizarre, and like I say, if they were already doing this, the fact that I did it is odd, I mean, to say the least. But if you drive all the way around from the top where we were earlier, over by the rocket point, the export to Earth point, you can drive all the way around the top, come all around to here. I'm pointing, I don't know why I'm pointing, you can't see me pointing, and you've got this huge stone quarry. No shortage of stone at all. There are loads of mods and stuff for stone, and there's all sorts of things you can put in if you want to, but I love the fact that's been built in. You put it in the top there, down to the bottom is where you collect it. That's awesome. Now we do also have a rent train point here. Now this one's got me more baffled, because even if you rent the train, and like over at the other point, you can't actually get into the train without going onto the map and getting into the train. But even if you get into the train here, there's nowhere to load anything. You can't load the train here. So I'm not, I mean, that's the weird thing. The only place you can put stuff onto the train is over there, isn't it? Unless I'm missing something really, really obvious. But I can't see anywhere along here that you could put into the train. Anyway, there is a rent train point there, should you want it. Then we come across too, so more storage space there. Now then we've got a sluice. I think this should come out as a mod. This should be a mod in its own right. I think this sluice, the way this has been set up, is that I love the wet out the back here as well. But putting into your sluice is done there, water there. You can put it in the top as well if you want to, it's up to you. But if I manage our sluice, which is available to purchase as well, depleted Martian stone, water and electric charge will give you magnesium ore, titanium ore and silicon. Now we saw those, that we needed those for one of the other facilities. That's how you get them. But then you might be saying, that's great, where do I get my depleted Martian stone from? This facility just here is your stone processing. So here you're bringing stones, electric charge. So there's your overdrive one. So just do stones, you bring your stone in. The overdrive one, higher recipe with electricity. You get more. You get your depleted stone, methane. So if you're wondering where you get your methane from, and this also does carbon monoxide and liquid oxygen. Now all of these things can be sold independently, and we'll have a look at the prices menu if I don't run out of time at the end. And some of the prices for some of the items are next level. I mean, nuts. But like I said before, when I did my Let's Play, it wasn't necessarily about earning money, because you kind of already own everything. But if you want new machinery and equipment, or if you come onto it on a different level and decide you're going to put it all in and gradually work your way through, that's what makes it really cool. We've got a standard debris crusher there, so if you want to make your own lime, no, that's a sell point, isn't it? As I say, you can. There's not one on here, because the other one that used to be on here was the Empro Loop one, wasn't it? It was a required mod. But there are plenty of mods for making your own lime, but there is a lime station just over there. But anyway, that is a debris crusher for stone. If you don't want to do all the other stuff, I guess you don't have to. I would think it would be kind of weird. More storage space here with the blast doors on the front, which is cool. We come around following this over. We've got another oxygen filter just here. I'm looking up at the thing thinking I definitely can't see anywhere for loading. Anyway, there's not a station on the top decks. There's another oxygen filter there, and then we come along here, and this is very cool. This is the electronics manufacturing plant, and these require a lot. This requires a lot of the other products you can make from other locations, and it's going to take a while to build up to and get to that point. Again, we start with it on New Farmer. Electronic parts, blank PCBs and motherboards, and then you've got the overdrive versions of those. But the things required in silicon, titanium alloy, glass, enriched magnesium, electric charge, you know, and then some of those require other things. For example, to make a motherboard, you need electronic parts and blank PCBs. So you've got to make those first before you can make the motherboards. So what we'll do at this point, actually, let's go and have a look at prices. So you get your dried stuff, your liquid oxygen. So if you're producing that, that gets taken to the Mars rocket because the Mars rocket needs liquid oxygen to run. Your carbon monoxide, there's no price. That works on the oxygen filters. Then you've got your Martian stone, your ores. Your ores are worth a fair bit. Then you've got your alloys. Your ore, again, an alloy. Silicon. The prices are pretty good. Glass is pretty good, you know. And then you move on to these. And look at that. Motherboards. For the Mars rocket, to keep the rockets running, 62 grand if you make motherboards. So there's a load of stuff on there. And again, I think because it's all different stuff and it's new and, you know, yes, all right, there you go. There's our shuttle going. That's your passenger shuttle. We've seen that, yeah. We had that before. That was on the previous version. But all the other elements that have been added in are just, yeah, wow. The next door to that, I don't think we can get through the gap there, can we? No, next door to that, we've got our sawmill, standard sawmill. If you think I was building log cabins, cutting down trees and building cabins, I had all the various different parts and I had a different sawmill. But your sawmill's just over there. Now that one you don't start with, you don't own it, but you have to purchase it. And then we're back to our start point. What's that board say? Wow. Wow. And that is the map. I mean, I just want to play. I know people will be saying, just plan it, do a let's play, it'll be awesome. And that's great for the few people that would love that. Because I've already done let's play on Mars the Mission, I don't think a lot of people will be that bothered. But that's it, that's the map, and I just think it is next level, phenomenally good. Stellar, that's the word, it's stellar. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.